one of the things we lack as a society is having these tough conversations, these hard talks. I mean, it's necessary. All right. And I know we as a culture do a lot. We talk so much, we don't do any action. But part of my makeup, part of my thing is, you know, there's a statement that I don't know if you heard of Frederick K. Price. He says that once you've been informed, now you're accountable. You can't use the excuse you don't know. Right?
Is it Reverend or Pastor Price?
Pastor Price, right? He passed on. But one of the things he said growing up, he says, once you're aware, once you've been informed, now you're accountable because now you know. You can't use that I didn't know excuse, right? So I think part of the problem that we have, we don't want to have these tough conversations. We don't want to have these tough talks. And if we do have these talks, it's always circumvented and, you know, excuses are given and validated. I don't do that. I dig into a conversation as uncomfortable as it may be, because ultimately that's how I was raised. I thank God for the discipline that my parents gave me. I thank God for the medicine that we get. Sometimes what hurts us is to help us grow. Sometimes what hurts us is what helps us develop. But you know what they say: if whatever don't kills you, make you stronger. So you have a situation. It's supposed to, right? So we have a problem in our culture, and the problem that we have in our culture is part of it is the relationship part. And Cal brings up all the time: family is the most rebellious thing you could do is build a family. Right, that's the nucleus family, whatever. Because that's what's. So we have to figure out a way to solve this. So I just wanted to say the conversations, if it's not as light for me anyway, is because I really like to dive into these conversations. I really like to put things out there for people to really think about, as uncomfortable as it may be. Okay, so Kyle, to your point, right?
Yes.
Repeat, what was your question again, if you can remember, because I want to make sure I don't go off on a tangent in answering. But I wanted to make sure.
Yes. So my question was posed to the family, like, how do we solve that issue? Because again, these are friends, because the theme of friends, right? These are so-called friends, but we want them to be more than just casual friends.
Okay.
So we want the friendship of deeper, intimate, sexual nature of friends.
So I see there's two men here and one woman. So I want to seem like we're bashing you this out. But all right. So I think. All right, so if we look at the data, we look at the statistics, what have you, and we keep it honest, we be real, there's 80% of women that's choosing 20% of the men, right? Because on average, I think they said 1 in 4 or 1 in 3 men aren't in relationships and don't have intimacy. And what I mean intimacy, I'm talking sex. So there are a lot of men out here that aren't in relationships. There are a lot of men out here, according to the data, facts, and statistics, that aren't having sex. It's the top 20% that, have full reign, because these 80% of women are looking for these 20% of men. And if you look at the generations that have grown up, when you ask them what's their criteria or their type of man, he has to be 6 feet, 6-pack, and make 6 figures. That's what they're saying. Right now, I know that's not everybody, but the generation of women that we have growing up today, with the advent of social media and Instagram, right, feel that they can have that because these so-called 20% of men are reaching out to them on Instagram because of their beauty looks, whatever. And then when they get to that wall at 30, what have you. So to your point, Cal, and Nishana, please comment on this. I think it's, and I could be wrong, but I think it's women that feed off of the attention that they get from men when we talk about friend zones. So they know the guy is they know the guy's interested in them, right? But they friend zone him. But because of the attention that they get from that guy, they disingenuously keep him around. Because whenever they get upset, or whenever they pursued some dude and he dropped them, or the guy she was looking for, whatever, they can always go to this friend zone guy and get that emotional support, get that validation that they need to boost up their ego, to help them feel comfortable in whatever they feel bad about. So I think to a large extent, women, again, I'm biased, I'm a man, I'm saying it, need to do what Kyle is talking about in regards to being honest with them and say, listen, I don't like you that way. I'll never like you that way. So if you still want to be around me, All right, that's on you, but I'm just letting you know I'm being honest with you. This is how I feel with it. I don't, so don't try and stay around thinking you're going to catch me off. Because it happens, right? She falls, but I'm saying generally, I don't like you this way, blah, 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 blah. I think it's more on the women to do that, because I don't think men by large have a bunch of women in their friend zone. And I'm not talking about the men that women are attracted to, because there are men out there that got women like dying for them, and I get that, but I'm saying in general, it's more women that have men in friend zones than men that have women in friend zones. And I think because of that, I think to Cal's point, women should be like, this is the truth. I don't feel you that way. So if you still want to be in my friend zone, that's on you, but I'm not feeling you. So what do you think about that, Nashana? To Cal, did I address your point? That's the point?
Yeah.
So what do you feel about that, Nashana?
I mean, I feel like it can go. I mean, I know you're saying 20%, 80%, but I feel like it can go both ways. I really do feel like it can go both ways. Because I really do believe it can go both ways. I think there may be some situations and times where men know too that a woman is attracted, and they just keep them around just for that, whatever it is, maybe different dynamic than what keep women around men. But I think it can go both ways. We got to look at some more studies. I really believe it can go both ways. But either which way,
I can, and because I've seen it in real time.
Yes. So I believe it can go both ways. I don't think it's I think maybe more research and study needs to be done to look at the dynamics of it.
What is it?
I can't even say.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, I can't even say that what you're saying about friend zoning and not. At the end of the day, it is wrong. I'm not gonna even say that it is right. It is wrong, and it is done for selfish reasons, as to just want to go out, or and it does. You don't take into. I think sometimes you don't take into accountability, going back to maybe like our first taping, that man is human too. So that can affect them as well. In doing that, I guess it's just this unknown factor again of men are strong. They can handle it. And it's just we're not really taking or doing a good job on both ends, females and males, and understanding our emotional makeups and what that looks like. And it relationships take a lot of work. I really do. And I'm not gonna even sit up here and and be like I'm a pro, and no, I don't have much experience. Long relationship. I'm not going to do that. This is just based on my observation, evaluation, and what I believe to be true.
Thank you for that.
I think to go back to just the maturity level of the individual. I heard someone say before, wherever you have like a tragic event or something happens to you in life, usually if you don't get any help, you stay there. Right. So whatever tragically happens to you, so that could be 16, so I could be 45, 46. If I haven't dealt with that 16-year-old tragedy, my behaviors will still emulate that, copy that. So I believe there's validity to that as to why some people, and to be honest, growing up in single parent household, right, not having that male figure as a model, I know for me personally, I'm bumping into these things. The more knowledge that I learn from men, or just learn, it makes me do a self-examination. And maybe everyone, and again, that goes back to your willingness and and just wanting to be able to see that, and what expands your, that uncomfortability. I can't say sitting here talking to you guys is like the most comfortable thing. I was challenged doing this, but I truly believe that God puts me in situations for reasons. So that's what drives my faith and drives me to take those steps, to be like, okay, this is uncomfortable, I don't know where we're going with this, but I'm not gonna, I can't take offense to it. I have to grab the meat from it and just really try to learn. And when it comes to friendships, like, I just think that maybe we don't see it modeled well enough. I don't know. We don't do a pretty good job at it. And then maybe that goes into every relationship. That just starts to trickle into every relationship.